Hello, I'm Nathan Powell. I'm the creative director here at Liverpool's Everyman Theatres, and you are listening to LivEveryPlay, our homegrown Made in Liverpool podcast, where we speak all things theatre, backstage, and we get the chance to speak to incredible artists who we love and appreciate, who are working with us. And that's exactly what we're doing today. Today, we have with us the incredible Ellie Hurt, who is currently directing our Romeo and Juliet that is on at the Everyman Playhouse on Hope Street. Ellie, welcome.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Really excited for this chat.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously you have a very long history with the Everyman, but this is the first time that you're making something on our main stage, right?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
I'm feeling the pressure. It's a bit surreal actually, I think, to like come back to somewhere that's been like such a massive part of your life. And also like the place where I like definitely failed at the start and like had a go at things and didn't quite know who I wanted to be yet. Yeah. So it's quite nice to come back with a lot of like other experience and other stuff that's happened and done other shows and other projects. It's quite nice actually to come back and do something here, but it is a bit like going back into the past.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about how you got into theatre. So we talk about this long history of this building, but what was your route into theatre?
I sort of didn't really have a choice because my parents were both theatre people. So I was like, I think I went to the National Street Drama Festival when I was like 3 months old, and I got like handed around people who were in the show and stuff. So I kind of watched like my mum and dad.
What did they do?
They both worked at the University of Derby in the theatre department.
Amazing.
So they did loads of stuff with students. So my childhood was full of like student parties and like shows. In like at one point I was in Romania when I was 9 years old watching this drama festival in like an attic at some point. But I just remember watching them and being like, oh, this is so cool that you get to do this as a job. Like I was like walking up and down corridors playing on a drum kit that they had for a show at some point and going up into the lighting box. So it was like, it was all so exciting. I just couldn't believe that people weren't wearing a uniform. You didn't have to wear a suit. You didn't have to have a briefcase. And you didn't have to go to an office. Although we are wearing a suit. But I chose this one myself.
Yeah, good.
And I remember my dad saying to me, like, don't ever do a job you have to wear a uniform for. Wear what you want to wear. So that kind of stuck with me. So I just got to like see like what an amazing experience it was to work in theatre and like meet loads of different people from all walks of life and see the kind of friendships and the working relationships that blossomed out of making stuff and being like creative. And like I just see that they've like stayed in touch with almost everybody on a lot of their shows throughout their life, and I just think that's so unique.
Yeah. What do they think about what you're doing now?
Oh, they're so like, they just come and see everything. They come and see everything. But it's really nice because they've like watched me from the very beginning, and I think watched me like really struggle and obviously go through the stages that all artists do of like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? And that I think they're really kind of grounding and going, they've always been like, just do what you want to do. Like if money was no object, what would you be doing? And just do that. And like you'll find a way. So they've been really like helpful in that respect. Amazing. And kind of really grounding me in the kind of process of making and just like to trust myself. I think was a big kind of inspiration from them.
When did you go to, I don't know, your first drama class or club or whatever it was?
I went to a couple of youth theatres in Derby. And I definitely wanted to be an actor when I started out because I was like, I want to be the star. I was like, it's going to be my name in lights.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we've all done that. And I also kind of didn't, that kind of just felt like the only option at the time. And then I went to John Moores University in Liverpool. So actually it was coming to Liverpool and like this city that really kind of gave me a space to like have a look at all the other kind of roots, I guess, within theatre. And I used to get really bad stage fright. Like before shows, I was almost physically sick every time. I'm just not made for the stage. And I went through a couple of horrible experiences. Like I had an experience where I had to kiss someone in a show, and I remember the directors going, their note was more passion when you're kissing. And I was like, I felt so exposed and so horrible. I was like, I never want to be in this situation again where I'm made to do something I don't want to do. And I felt as an actor, I didn't really have much control. So I think it came from a place of like knowing that I wanted other people to have a better experience, knowing I would be a better kind of director in that respect and give people a safe space, and also like definitely being more concerned with what everyone else was doing on stage than myself. Like I was in a show going, oh right, them over there. No, you're in the scene. What are you doing? So I think I just started to like realize that I was more concerned with like the biggest picture and the story rather than anything I was doing.
Yeah. So how did you start exploring that? How did you start exploring directing?
I went. There was a module at uni where we kind of just made a play from start to finish, as in like adapted. I think it was an adaptation module, and we adapted The Ruby and the Smoke, and I was like, can I just have a go at assistant directing? So I just had a go at it, and I loved like I loved working with actors. I loved being on the other side of it for a change. I loved the kind of magic you get when like an actor does something and then makes you cry, and then you watch it again and it makes you cry again. You're like, how can you? I've just watched it. Why am I still crying? I already know what you're going to do. So I just started to really love that side of things and working with actors rather than being with myself. So I did it in uni, and then kind of was like, oh, this feels kind of right. This feels like what I want to be doing. This feels like what I want to be spending my time doing, really. Brilliant.
And have you had any specific director training?
No, apart from Yep. Yeah. Really, the Yep's my only kind of route in. I think I went through a period like everyone does of going, I need to be doing an MA. I need to be doing an MA in directing. I need to go to Birkbeck. I need to be. But I wouldn't. I get a lot of imposter syndrome. I always feel like I'm not very academic and not very like intellectually intelligent. So I think that always really scared me. Feeling like I just wouldn't be able to do it. So I think I like auditioned for a lot of stuff, and I did lots of interviews for MAs, and then kind of got knocked back from all of them. And I'm actually so glad that happened. I don't know, like obviously wasn't the right path for me, and I would have had to like sell everything I own to even attempt to afford that. Like I probably wouldn't have been able to afford it anyway. But I think it was ended up, you always look back on it and go, I'm so glad that didn't happen. But at the time it feels like the worst thing in the world. But I'm so glad I didn't have that formal training, because I think it's like kind of shaped the way I work a little bit, a bit differently. Yeah.
So what has shaped that? Tell us a little bit about Yep and what that was like for you.
It was like totally having a space to work out what I wanted to do and like who I wanted to be. And I think there was something really exciting about the time when I joined as well, because it was like the Everyman had just been refurbed and just reopened, and it felt like this new chapter in this building. And there was just a lot of like excitement going on. I think having like a group of other directors as well, who were all kind of really different, but all loved like being together in that room downstairs in the studio and kind of going, well, I really want to direct this kind of play. Well, I really want to direct this kind of play, and getting masterclasses from other people and other creatives in the city. And I think Liverpool has always felt so brilliant at networking. I think it actually feels quite small in a way, and I think you start to really learn who the people are that you want to make work with. And I think what Yep did is brilliantly is have all the other strands as well, like they have the writers and the producers, and I think that's where I kind of joined up with Natasha Patel, who was on the Yep producers course at the time. Shout out Tash. Wouldn't be where I am without that woman. And I think that kind of working relationship really started me on a path to something. So I think that just the kind of opportunity to have a go at making stuff, like totally flop, and not be loads of reviewers in to watch you do it. Do you know what I mean? It's so nice, because you don't get that now. It's like everybody's watching everything you do. So to have that kind of space to do that, literally have the space to do that, and really figure out who I was and what I wanted to be doing, and meet the people I needed to kind of move on. But really like laid the foundations for kind of how the way that I work, and getting to like assist on Fiddler on the Roof, which was the opening show of the Rep Company here in 2017, was like a total eye opener for me. Like doing a huge musical when I was like, it was my first assistant credit, was like insane. It was insane, and to like even feel like a tiny part of that was like so special. I don't know any other kind of place where you get to do that and get to like go from being in a kind of training program and feeling like part of a youth group to then like actually getting a credit. Do you know what I mean? Which feels so important in our world, when a lot of it's just people staring at your CV and going, what have you done? So it's like probably the most important thing I've done.
Where do you think you developed your style and the way that you approach a rehearsal room? I think seeing little bits of you in action and seeing the way that company is working on Romeo and Juliet. I think there's like a really beautiful, open energy that's in that room where it feels like people are bringing what they want to bring into that space and giving them the space, themselves the space to fail. So it's lovely hearing you be like, oh yeah, actually I got to learn like to fail and flop and just like do really bad stuff while I was learning, and just seeing that actually you've brought some of that energy into your rehearsal rooms. Like how has that developed for you?
I think that started with watching a knee-high show. I watched a version of Tristan and Isolde when I was 9 years old in Cornwall, and I was so blown away. I got handed a love heart because they have this bit at the start where the love spotters are like handing out love hearts, and I was like, oh my god, interacting with me. Like I remember holding this love heart in my hand the whole show, and they were like jumping off mattresses to get on the stage, and like it was just felt so anarchic and like exciting, and like they were a proper family. And I think then from that I started to look into a bit more of Knee-High's work and see that they went to Cornwall to rehearse, and they all stay in a barn and that kind of like communal space. And I think innately I'm a people pleaser, and I really want people to have like the best experience they've ever had. I just do, and I can't deny it. I want every show they do with me to be like, it's the best thing I've ever done. But I also I think I just love a community of people and a group of people and the kind of alchemy of that. And I think I do my best work when that feels right. So I feel like getting the right team together is so important, because then it means I get to do my best work as well, and I can totally relax and feel like, you know, we're a proper team. So I think at I definitely did a lot of like research into other people and how they did it, and then it's also a bit of who I am is sprinkled in there, of like just wanting people to have a really lush time making something. It's so exposing. Like I think making art is so terrifying and exposing, and it can be really scary, and like people are scrutinizing you, what you're doing, or like watching you all the time. And I just think it's really, what everyone's doing is really tricky, and you're all trying to make a difference in the world, or like say something good, or bring hope to people, or I always say we're not saving lives, we're saving souls. Do you know what I mean?
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
You can use that one.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, I feel like you want to instill like something in somebody. So it feels like it's quite a scary, it feels like a lot of pressure to do that. So I don't know, I just feel like you can only do your best work when you're like loving being there and you're having a nice time.
Agree.
And you feel like you can totally just fail and like have a go at something and then it would not work. So I think it's, for me, that's always felt like probably the most important thing in a rehearsal room is to just get that feeling at the start and know that we're all in it together, and the kind of trust. It's really hard, I think, for actors to walk into a room and just all of a sudden trust everyone. Like you don't know us. What? You just got to trust that we know what we're doing. And I think it's the same with us all. We've just got to, and I think I've just tried to hone in how to develop and earn that trust.
Amazing. Thank you. You said about getting stage fright earlier and feeling like really sick before you go on stage. Do you still get that as a director? Like,
it's worse. Oh my god, it's worse. I thought, I was like, thank god I don't have to do it. I didn't. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I honestly, I remember sitting in the tech box for a show I did in Edinburgh, and I was just I put my head through my knees, and I couldn't watch it. Because you feel so and it's not that I don't trust that it's good. Can't do anything. And you see that like a prop hasn't come on, and you go, oh my god, I can see
it. Who's going to fix it? Has anyone clocked it? Someone just okay, that next transition, maybe they could just pick it up and
it's so terrifying. So it's got I don't feel physically sick every time. But that's a bit better. And I totally trust what they're doing on stage, but it's when I feel that they're not happy or in danger or not comfortable, then that's when I start to worry a little bit. But it's always fine. It's always fine. And you just sat there worrying for no reason. I think I worry as well if like a bit you've been laughing at in rehearsal and that you think is really funny, then no one laughs, and you go, oh my god, is it just me?
And then you come back every night in a run waiting until someone laughs at one moment, and you go, okay, great.
You're like, I've done it now.
See, it was important. That's why we get it.
But it is, I don't know. It doesn't get any easier, does it?
Nope. No, not at all.
It's scary.
You said what your first assistant credit was. What was your first professional show?
My first kind of directing mainstay show was Shakespeare North, Christmas Carol, which was a amazing because it was a brand new building and it felt like...
And you were the first Christmas show,
first
right?
Christmas show, yeah. Not the first show, but the first Christmas show. So they were still kind of... Well, we were all figuring stuff out as a team, really, about the best way to put on a show there. But yeah, it's a exciting space, isn't it? Did you? Yeah,
I love that space.
I loved it. The audience is so with you. I feel a bit like that in the Everyman. They're like, with now I'm getting Millie, who's our assistant director, to like sit in different seats and just to see how far her feet go in. There's some bits where I'm like, oh, we can't push it that far down stage because
so maybe
they're right there. But that was my first go at it.
How was that?
I felt kind of ready for it by that point. It kind of like, you always go, why am I not getting all these opportunities? And then you get one, you're like, oh, it's because I wasn't ready. The reason I've slogged all this time is because I would not have been ready for it. And it was an actor muso show, version of Christmas Carol, adapted by Nick Lane, which he also worked with. And with Zoe, who's playing Romeo, was playing Scrooge. And it was the most magical experience, a magical theatre, a whole new audience that we were trying to bring in. So we really felt like, well, we need to get them involved in some way, which is why our incredible sound designer Ernie went into all the businesses in Prescott and like did some cool sound design with them and actually put their voices in within the show. So it kind of really forced us to focus on who was coming in the door and who was watching it, and kind of this new kind of audience that maybe they hadn't hadn't experienced this theatre before. So it really got us to focus on kind of the community, which is quite
which is like a lovely legacy that you've left with them. So that sound thing of like recording people's voices and being a part of the show. I remember when I went to do the show there and I was talking about like how it's gone in previous years and like what are some of the different things that they've done, and that was one of them. I was like, that should be a thing that we do every year. So we had voices of little kids talking about what their Wonderland was, I think it was, that scattered through, which came from what you guys did on that show, and hopefully they'll carry it on. So it's incredible that your first professional show as director was the first Christmas show of a building that has like now when we think about Rock and Roll Panto and the sort of legacy of that, that's incredible that actually you've started that new legacy.
I never
thought
about it like that.
No pressure.
Sorry.
Take your flowers.
But it was a magical experience. Just again, a really great team of people, production, creative, cast. So it's all about the people, isn't it? It always ends up being about who you've got.
Always. And thinking about people and your journey with Yep, you mentioned Millie a second ago. So Millie is your Yep training assistant director, right? What's it like doing Yep and then going away and then coming back to do your first show here after Yep and then having like a you in the room with you doing that?
Do you know what? It's so lovely. And so I think it's also just great that there you can see like a full circle moment for people, because I think directing's so hard because there's not one way to do it. Like there's not like, you can't go and train necessarily do it and then you just go and do it. It doesn't work like that. It's like making connections and meeting people, and like everyone's path is so different. It's impossible to tell someone how to become a director, isn't it? So I think it's really nice to see that there can be that kind of circle moment. I think just having that voice in the room is so lovely, and having been an assistant is also I think really helped, because I've done loads of assistant credits. Sometimes I've just been making the tea, which is fair enough. Sometimes I've been walking the dog. I'm just taking the dog out for a wee and being like, why am I here? Why am I here? So it's not that I would have done that anyway, but it's really nice to go, no, and also like Millie is totally another brilliant presence and voice in the room, and so valid, and also has her own ideas and her own, do you know what I mean? Her own stuff to bring to it. And I think it's really nice for me to have gone through that, to recognise that, and that her voice is always valid, and just to help her get out of it what she wants. I think because each time I've been an assistant, I've learned something different, because each director's different. You get to like really be a fly on the wall, and you get to kind of have a little bit of no pressure because it's someone else's vision.
Feel less sick on opening night.
Yeah, less sick. And you can really like look at what people are doing and observing and seeing how they work, and it'll be different with every show she goes on to assist on. But I think it's really nice, because it means that I know exactly that working relationship, what I wanted when I was an assistant, and so I can kind of be on the other side of that. But it's so lush. Having that voice in the room is so lush, and for her to like offering suggestions and stuff and bringing in, she made some amazing stuff that we put on the wall, like some timeline stuff that really has really helped the cast. So good, it's been invaluable.
And you said you'd done loads of assisting. Tell us a little bit about because you've been all over the gaff and done loads of incredible stuff. What's that assistant journey been like? What have you been doing?
I think that to me has been my training.
Yeah.
I think that has been that's been my version of doing an MA. I think because you do every single time has been so different, and I think it's really hard actually for assistants because you spend the first, unless you have loads of meetings with the director beforehand, which you often don't get the opportunity to. You end up just guessing where you're needed a lot of the time because you really everyone is so busy and everyone's got a show to do. That you were kind of you spend the first week going, okay, am I better helping people learn lines, or am I better with the production team letting them know what's happening, or am I better just sitting next to the director? And I've been the person who's writing the notes for them while they're going watching. I've been the assistant where the director's on a microphone saying notes at me to write down in the notebook because they're watching it and they don't have time to write it. So I've done it. I feel like I've done it all now, and really seen how different directors work, but I've been a magpie and stolen bits from each director. Because I feel like you have to, don't you? And then I've kind of made my own version of what that is. You decide what
works for you, innit?
And been definitely wouldn't do that, or I could see that coming before you did that, but not that do you know what I mean? But I think it's just a really nice hands-on experience in loads of different scenarios, and you make so many contacts doing it. It's only because I assisted on The Winter's Tale at the National that I then got to associate Hamlet and then got to direct Hamlet. Yeah. So it's all about making connections. So the more theatres you can assist at, the more companies you can work with. It's all about making that connection. And I think things pay off a bit later than you think. I assisted on a show at the Story House when they did the Groves and Park Open Air Theatre. About 6-7 years ago now, and then I directed Sherlock this year there. So that again, it's another but I made that connection years ago. So I think it's having the patience to know. You make the connection and you just got to let it sit and it will hopefully come back to you.
So, and I think because we're and I always feel I'm always very guilty of just wanting things immediately. And I think we just it's with the microwave generation, isn't it? Where we just want things instantly. And we're okay, that's a thing and I can see it happening. So I want to be able to do that. But I think what you said about your first credit, it happened when you were ready for it. And it's really useful to get those reminders sometimes of okay, I can chill out. We're still babies, do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And you've done incredible things at this point. So, you've got years and years of a career, which is dead exciting, I think.
So exciting. I think when I look back, I had moments where I was crying on the pavement because I didn't get an interview. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely losing it. And then I'm I didn't need it. It was fine. And I went on to do something else. And I think it's just, when you're in it, it's so hot. When you get, this industry's full of rejection all the time and you're constantly being pushed back. So I think it's, when you're sitting in that rejection, you just have to sit in it and hold your nerve. It's all about holding your nerve that something else will happen. And if you're a kind person and you want to do it, do you know what I mean? It just will.
Get there. You'll figure it out. Yeah. This was I applied for this role 3 times.
Did you?
The first time,
no way.
It would have been an absolute nightmare if I did it the first time. Do you know what I mean? It's okay.
Thank God I didn't at that time.
You should have said no to me. That was correct. And now I've had that chance to develop and go, okay, what can I do to put myself in a position where I am ready for that?
Now you're the best version of what that role needs.
No,
I mean,
no. But we're getting there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you are.
Go on, give us you've worked with some incredible directors. So I'm not going who's the best?
Yes.
But just give us a gem. Give us something that you took away from an experience with one director that has really stuck with you.
Oh, so many. I think Tineke Craig, shout out.
Yeah.
Because she's so not afraid of being herself, and she's so honest, and she was so honest with me, and we created such a bond because we're very similar people. We have very similar worries and and ambitions, and she just knows how to make people feel comfortable. Probably where I got it from, one of the people I got it from, knows how to make a company feel comfortable and relaxed and excited by something. And she's so intelligent and so brilliant without really making it known. Do you know what I mean? She's not she puts it on the table and goes, I'm really clever, but she just is. And she just knows how to, she really understands a play and the characters and the motivations so much, and just knows how to get people to where they need to be without with making them feel like they've done it themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's you know where you want them to get. It is a magic trick, but they're not getting there. But she just knows what to do with them, and I think, and she's just so unapologetic and lovely and a really kind person, and really respects her whole creative team, and knows that everybody working together is going to make something brilliant, and is not and I think as an assistant, knowing that your voice is really like valid was so important, because she'd look at me and go, what do you think? And I was like, even just doing that, I was like, what do I think? What do you mean? Me? Well, I have written something, but I don't know if it's right. But just giving me the space to do that, and trusting me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I've learned so much from working with her. I've worked with her about 3 times now. And
incredible.
Every time it's just, well, I think, you know, in this industry, when you find somebody you work well with, it's so hard to not want to do it them all the time.
Let's just do it again.
Let's just do it again. Yeah. Let's just do it again and again. But you just find your people, don't you? And it's really hard. And I understand why people work with the same people, which is, you know, you shouldn't all the time, but you should get some new people in. But you understand, because you just find it's like me and Dom Coyote on this, who's a composer on Romeo Juliet. We've just created such a great working partnership and relationship that we've got such a shorthand with each other now. And we just look at each other, make a face, and he just knows what I mean. He just knows what I mean and does it.
Got it.
Yeah, and I go, something a bit weirder, but a bit breathy. And he'll go, right. And then he'll like do it. He'll just do it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, great, we got it. We're connected. Yeah. Oh, that's incredible. And that leads us on perfectly to our next bit. So what you're saying about Tinu being herself in those spaces. Yeah. We do a little thing where we ask our previous guest to think of a question to ask our next guest.
Oh, okay.
Right? So your question is from the incredible Billy Collins, who was with us a couple of months ago. And their question is, what is the theatre related thing that you've pretended to know about, but you really don't? Billy's was that they would pretend that they knew loads about Tennessee Williams, but they'd never read a Tennessee Williams play. Love that.
Do you know what? It's so much I pretend to know. I don't know.
Is your name Ellie? I don't know.
Oh my God. Probably, I've never seen a Chekhov. I've never seen Chekhov or read a Chekhov, and people go, "Oh yeah, the seagull." I don't even know if that is one, but people or like Chekhov's gun. What? I just nod along in those situations. I just nod and laugh and go,
"Yeah." How can I change the conversation?
Yeah, literally, like, I just don't even know anything.
I think that's a really good answer, and I think there's like a really weird thing in theatre where people just expect you to know everything. Yeah. It's like, why do you want me to be an encyclopedia?
I can't know everything.
Like, I'm trying really hard now to like not do that, and like when people say things, just be like, what's that? I don't know what that is. Unless they do it like 5 times in the conversation, and like after the 5th time I'll just nod along, because I'm like, it's getting embarrassing now. But it's like a really weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, why can't we just say,
I know.
No, I haven't read 25,000 plays.
No, I know. And I don't want to. I want to be the ones I want to read, okay?
Yeah.
Don't make me do a check. If anyone wants to give me a Chekhov. If anyone wants to give me a Chekhov, I'll do it.
Season, Ellie Hurt. All the Chekhovs in one.
I'll do them all. I'll do it.
Good. Thank you. And I'm going to ask you to think of a question to ask our next guest at the end of the episode. So
great.
Got a bit of time to think.
Thank you.
Moving on to Romeo and Juliet, though, which is why you're here and what you've been doing with us. Tell us a little bit about how that's come about and how you've been approaching Romeo and Juliet.
I think it was doing... Well, for starters, I've always felt stupid with Shakespeare. I've always felt so stupid. I remember watching a version of King Lear years ago when I was 15, and I think I fell asleep because I just was so... And it's such a good play. Now I've read it again. And do you know what I mean? But I was just so... I just clocked out because I didn't know what they were saying. And I think, I've always kind of just felt not really like I was the person to do it. Like I was the right person for the job. And I think doing... me and Dom actually worked together on a production of Hamlet at the National, and it was for primary school kids. And I remember thinking, how the hell are we going to make an hour-long version of Hamlet for primary school kids? It's so dense. Like, what? And then Jude Christian, who adapted it, just did the most amazing abridged version that was so streamlined and cut out all the kind of unnecessary, not necessarily unnecessary, but you know what I mean, for primary school kids, unnecessary stuff that they didn't need. And kept most of the Shakespeare text. We only added in a few. We added in the Wellerman song at one point, and we added some really cool modern references. But I should never say cool, because it's the least cool thing you can say. So cool, modern references. Who am I? But some stuff that we think people would relate to, and they just got it. I didn't need to worry one bit because they just understood everything, and that's like a credit to all the people who worked on it, really, and like the version of it, the adaptation that Jude did, the direction of it, the Jackie Tate, the amazing producer on it, who really understands children's theatre, and the cast and how they did it. And I think all those elements just really combined to make for a really kind of clear show. And I was like, God, if you can make primary school kids enjoy it. And if some of them, we toured around the UK, and for some of them it was their first experience of theatre, not even just Shakespeare. So we were like, God, if we lose them here, then there's never coming back. Like we have to make it exciting for them. So I think doing that, I was like, God, I need to stop being scared of this. Do you know what I mean? It's actually like I just need to work harder, and we're making a version of it. So I was working with Dom on that, and this is going to sound really silly.
Go on.
Silly. Someone who came in and auditioned for us, and they sang this amazing folk song by the Unthanks called I Wish. And I saw the opening of Romeo and Juliet in my head when it happened. I'm sorry, I'm never going to say that ever again.
It happened.
Do you know what I mean? I always feel like I get an opening image and a closing image, and that's all I get sometimes at the start. So that was the kind of spark. And then because I was working with Dom, I was like, oh, I'd love to do a version of like Romeo and Juliet. Like, what could it be? So we started a bit of a conversation then, and Dom's music definitely influenced me, because he makes the most incredible mashup of like different styles, and he keeps calling it pagan electronic folk, and I'm like, what is that? I don't even know, but it sounds amazing. And he's just got this incredible skill to really like bring other elements together. So that's where it started. And then always knew I wanted to do a show back here. So and also had a really long chat with Zoe, because I've always wanted this. Since working with them on Christmas Carol, I've always wanted them to play Romeo. I just had it in my head. And when I asked them what part they really wanted to play, they were like, Romeo. And I was like, oh my God, it's all coming together. That's what I thought. So it was kind of a mixture of a few different things. And I think knowing that Romeo and Juliet is essentially about young people, and knowing that would maybe be a bit of an access point for younger people on what I kind of learned from Hamlet, and that version really focusing on the young people in the play as well. So I think that's kind of where I started with it, and just knowing I wanted to create a version that, even though it's not for primary school kids, because this definitely isn't. Sorry, maybe one day. But definitely for younger people who maybe haven't experienced Shakespeare or theatre before, was kind of what I was excited by. Because I had that experience, and I wanted to kind of share that and do it again. So that's where it all kind of started. Really.
Amazing. And it's really nice hearing you talk about how much you enjoyed Jude's abridged version of Hamlet, because you and our dramaturg Tomo have done this abridged version of Romeo and Juliet. What was that process like?
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying, because you're just sat there deleting Shakespeare going, is this okay? What am I doing? The greatest playwright of all time, what am I doing? So and Tomo was so brilliant at text work, so that was I really needed. I couldn't have done it by myself. That was so supportive, but you do just go like, oh, it is fun. Like, I don't need to get rid of that much. Do you know what I mean? You think, oh, I'm going to chop loads of it out, I'm going to delete, and I'm going to make it my own. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I know I didn't want to do a retelling, so I wasn't purposefully trying to totally mess with it. So actually you go, oh no, that bit is really important, and that bit, and then you start to realise loads of it is important. So it was just more about, because we know we wanted to make it about the young people, it was about pinging that out. So it was about pinging out the kind of the version of the story that we wanted to, which is in the text. We just wanted to make it really clear.
Go on, say more about that, about the young people.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to make it feel like it was a bit more from their point of view almost. So we and that the adults were kind of culpable in a lot of ways. And so we've done stuff like, I can say what we've done with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
We've done stuff like we've brought the nurse into the marriage scene so it's the friar, these two adults watching these two get married, and then later on it hits a bit harder when the nurse is like, no, just marry Paris, and Juliet's like, what? You literally watched me get married to it. And so we've just tried to ping out those moments, and they were all kind of involved, and the nurse knew all along, but it's things like that. And I think the final image and the final kind of feeling of Romeo and Juliet is them going, look at what your hate has done to these young people. And so it just felt really important to give that to the only surviving young person in our version, which was Benvolio, when it's normally the prince, because it felt like that's the voice of reason needs to come from Benvolio, and kind of watching in our version, it's kind of seeing all their friends just like having lost their life, that it felt like, why wouldn't we give it to Benvolio to say? So it wasn't a massive mess with the text, but it was just like pinging out the bits that felt important of the reason why
why did that feel important to you, to have that, I suppose, message or the storytelling of being really clear that look at what your hate has done to these young people? Why did that feel important for you to do in this version of Romeo and Juliet?
I think it stemmed from doing Hamlet and doing it for primary school kids and thinking what they relate to and who they would relate to in the play, and making sure that those are the people that we get time with, that we get the young people get time with the young people on stage, and it feels like they've got a relationship. And I just think that I feel like hate is a bit of a currency in the world at the moment, and I think the show feels like a bit of a warning about that, and about how kind of like old ways of thinking, not moving forward, not evolving, adapting, growing, connecting, will ultimately cause us damage. So I think because they have this ancient feud that no one knows why the hell they're fighting. It's kind of like mindless violence for no reason, and the people that lose their lives are the young people. So it's like it just really shines a light on that, I think.
Yeah. Thank you. And how's the company been?
Oh my God.
Assembled like a super team of
eight
performers to bring this Romeo and Juliet to life. How's that been working with all of them?
So exciting. And this is like the reason why I do it, is like being in the room with them and like watching them work. It's like watching a masterclass. It's like, I think as a director, I don't know how you feel, but my favourite kind of actors to work with are people who go, I've got an idea. I've got an idea. I go, oh yeah, really. Probably better than anything I had in my head. And I think that's what the company are like. They've totally taken ownership of it and made it their own. And they've brought these versions to life better than anything I could have imagined. Like, obviously, I sit squirreling away, going, sorting out what, and thinking what the show will be in my head. And then as soon as they walk in, it absolutely shatters everything and puts it back together even better than I could have imagined. So I think they've just been amazing to work with. They're really instinctive actors. They've got lots to offer. They're really playful, and they've really tried to find the kind of energy and the fun side of this play, when a lot of it feels like doom and gloom. And we've really tried to go, where's the hope? Where's the hope? And they've been really on board with that. And it's just magic watching actors like come up with stuff that you would never even imagined in your head, and you go, that's why I'm not doing it. That's why I'm on this side, because I could never do it.
I think it's so important. I think you in pre-rehearsals, you're thinking about what the show might be and how you're going to develop the show and what it's going to look like and what the general playground is for that space. But I think it's so important that you acknowledge that you are employing a bunch of artists to develop this play with you. You're not employing a bunch of vessels to like get out your thing. It's like you just have to be open to the incredible artistry that people are bringing into the room that are going to do something 10 times more incredible than would have been in your head anyway. I always think about like if you think of something in your head, like if you think of what your childhood bedroom looked like or something, you have like a really clear vision of it. And you're like, that's amazing. I can see it very clearly. But if you actually went there, it would look nothing like that. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, you can never, the thing that is in your head is never going to be the thing on stage anyway. So why try and religiously stick to that thing? Let people do what they're going to do and shape it and guide it. But
actually, like the stuff that I thought about a year ago ends up not even going into it. Do you know what I mean? You do kind of have to shed what you'd originally thought it would be, and because of the alchemy of people, it just becomes something different. But it's been like the most incredible, warm, lovely, kind room, which I think has just meant everyone can really have a go at what they want to try stuff out, and not be afraid of it not paying off. And, do you know what I mean? And trusting everybody. I think that's such a big thing.
Yeah, for sure. The music is still very much a part of it, though. Which has been in your head from the start. How are you using sound and music and voice, or what are you willing to tell us without spoiling it about sound?
It's a way I've never really worked with music before, actually, which is really exciting. And we're kind of using music as another way to tell the story without it being a musical. I think in musicals, people stop and sing about what they feel like they can't say That's what it feels like to me. And I think we've used voices to do that rather than song. So like we've used it. Romeo and Juliet is so tied up in time. This idea of time, and like we're kind of in the prologue, we call them the fates. They set the clock ticking right at the start of the show. They literally say, in 2 hours we're going to tell you, and everyone's going to die, and and so they set the clock ticking. So it's like it's like a play that can't wait. It's like we can't wait. We have to get to the end now. We've started it. We can't jump off this train. And so I think we're kind of using music to help with that and kind of explode the moments when time feels like it stops, because the play is hurtling towards the end. But like, for example, when the lovers, their eyes first meet and stuff like that, we've tried to look at the moments where in reality time would feel like it's completely stopped for a minute and stuff like that, or helping to show that time is passing, or to help us feel the emotion of what someone is feeling. So we've kind of used this world of like underscore a cappella singing, and we've kind of like merged it together to kind of be a kind of another character in a way, and like another storyteller, I think. Because I love like soundtracks. I'm obsessed with like soundtracks, and like I think I listen to music when I'm like trying to work out an idea. So it's like it's just a big part of like who I am anyway. I just feel like Dom really shows what the play what we necessarily don't need to stop and say and sing, but we can show you with a bit of a feeling or a bit of a sound, sonically, I think.
Amazing. Thank you. The next bit.
Yeah. I'm scared.
We're going to do a little quick fire question round. So just the first thing that comes to your head. Don't overthink it. Don't think about it too much.
Okay.
Don't panic.
Okay.
You're not going to get cancelled. Everything's safe. It's all right.
Okay.
We'll start off nice and simple, and then we'll move into stuff that is more show related. Okay. Right. First one. Sweets or chocolate, Ellie Hurt?
Chocolate.
Ooh.
Chocolate.
Winter or summer?
Summer. Okay. Does anyone say winter?
I don't know. I've not asked anyone else.
Oh, right, okay. I hope they don't.
Winter or summer? Anyone else?
I know
Winter,
there's Christmas.
summer? Summer? Summer,
yeah.
All right. Summer, all right. So, all right. I'll take that one out. Thanks. Rain or snow?
Rain.
See, now I think that's snow. Like
I'm saying that for a reason.
Oh. Cozy night in or big night out?
Big night out.
Yeah. What is more dangerous, money or power? Quick fire, really hurt.
Oh, God. Power.
Capulet or Montague?
Oh, you caught me. Montague. Montague.
Best line of the play?
Farewell, ancient lady.
Fate or free will?
Free will.
Comedy or tragedy?
Comedy. We all need more laughs in life.
Yeah. Rehearsals or tech?
Rehearsals.
Favourite Tech Week snack?
You know the chocolate covered pretzels called Flips?
Yeah.
Them. Oh
Flips with a Z in it.
Oh my God, yeah. I've eaten about 7 packets of them.
This is a weird one actually, as I read it out.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want from you here. Poison or dagger?
I'm going to say poison because it's like, mysterious.
Is it? It's Ooh, nice.
Poison.
Okay, all right. Got it.
It reminds me of the Hot Fuzz Romeo Juliet. Poison.
That's exactly what yours is going to be.
Yeah,
like.
that's it.
Okay, cool. Does love conquer all?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. And I know you already said that you kind of have given the ending to someone else, but if you could rewrite the ending, like rewrite the structure, the story of the ending, what would happen?
Oh my God, they'd go away and live they'd go and party like hell. Do you know what? They'd probably end up getting bored of each other.
Oh no, do they break up?
Well, it happens so quick. I'm like, do you actually like, is this going to fizzle out? Is it going to be one of those? They might end up with someone else, but they'd have a long life.
They'd have a lovely long life.
They'd learn
lots about themselves.
Yeah, exactly. We'd all learn and grow, I think. Yeah. We'd all look back on this.
Good. Thank you very much. Well done, Ellie Hurt. Quick fire.
Thank you, David.
Thinking about the future then and passes. What's next? What do you want to do next? You're back in the city, innit? You're living here.
Yeah. What do I want to do?
What's next for Ellie Hurt? Yeah.
In life or in theatre world?
Give us whatever you want. Go on, whatever you want to say. Life or theatre world.
I think I just want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
I feel like, do you know what's hard is like, I feel like the goalposts always move. So you're constantly looking. I think it's really hard this in our careers not to keep looking for the next thing. I think I need to start enjoying the journey. That's my thing for my next thing.
Good.
Because it's been a long old road to get in. It'll still be a long old road after, I think. So I just need to, I think I need to be a bit more present and embrace what I'm doing at the time and not keep looking for the next thing. Sorry, that's a bit of a horrible answer.
No, it's a great answer.
That's a bit of I'm not going to say, but...
All right, well, I'll ask you in another way then. If in 60 years' time you're looking back at your career, what do you want to be able to feel proud of?
I think the people that I think the relationships I've made. Yeah. I think the connections that you make with, whether it's like a working relationship or a friendship, I think with people along the way, it feels like they end up being your family, don't they? In like a really lovely sort of way. And I think because when you're directing a show, you're in a show or you're part of a show, you're like a little family for this small period of time. So I think you just get really close to people. And I think I just want to have stayed in contact with a lot of people and made some good friendships out of it, I think.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to tell us about Romeo and Juliet or you or what you're up to that we haven't got to cover or ask?
Not about me.
Nah.
I'm boring.
No, you're not.
Just please come and see the show. I think it'll be really fun.
When is it again?
It's 13th of September to the 4th of October at the Everyman, and I promise it'll be a really fun night. Very thrilling, very exciting, and you're watching people at their absolute best, bring their absolute A game. So if nothing else, if you hate Shakespeare, you'll just watch some absolute masterclasses at work on the stage and who have made it. So if nothing else, come for that.
Yeah,
I think
strong
to watch
agree.
Some skills, yeah,
and it looks incredible as well.
Yes,
even if you're like, I hate this play, but wow, this looks gorgeous.
Exactly.
There's so many reasons to come.
Yeah.
So many reasons to come. Ellie Hurt, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Before we release you back into tech,
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to think about the question that you want to pass forward?
Yes. Do I ask it now?
Yeah.
Okay, this is not a secret.
So it's not
I
secret.
would like to ask the next person, if you had a friend who has never watched any theatre in their life, what would you take them to see to make them fall in love with it?
Nice.
That's good, that, isn't
good,
it?
strong, yeah.
That's good.
That should have just been one of mine. No. Ellie, it's been wonderful having a chat. Thank you very much for stopping by. I know you're dead busy, so I really appreciate it.
Of course.
And can't wait to see what you guys put on stage.
Thank you.
Yay. Ellie Hurt, everybody.
Thank you, Nathan. What a joy.
That was the wonderful Ellie Hurt with us. Just a reminder that Romeo and Juliet runs at the Everyman Theatre from the 13th of September to the 4th of October. And you can get your tickets on our website, everymanplayhouse.com, or give us a call on box office. We are a registered charity. And if you enjoyed this episode or if you enjoy the work that we do here at the Everyman and Playhouse, please do consider donating whatever might feel comfortable or possible. Again, you can head to our website to see how to donate or email us at donate@everymanplayhouse.com. Thank you very much for listening.